guys, one thing that's starting to annoy me a little bit is not having a speedometer. And the reason for that is that this speedometer wants an electronic VSS signal, but the Turbo 400 is only set up for a mechanical cable-driven signal. So I've been looking at different options, like one of the GPS speedometers from Amazon, and that would probably work fine. But then I came across a sending unit from Dakota Digital that takes a cable signal and then turns it into a pulse signal. So here it is. It's the SEN 011 from Dakota Digital. And it's going to go right up there. Now, I'm not 100% sure that this is going to create the right kind of signal that my speedometer can use, but it's my current best bet, and I guess we're going to figure it out together. So you just kind of make it look like the picture. One thing to note is left-hand threads and that connection there, so that when you tighten this, it pulls both parts together. I'll probably have to actually screw this onto the transmission first. Alright, that's pretty snug on both sides. Alright, so there's the sensor. I'm running the wires up and over the top of the transmission. So you can see it just kind of comes over the top, and I've got it zip tied there to the dipstick tube and the O2 sensor wire, just kind of for a strain relief more than anything else. Got those wires fished up the back of the engine there along with the dipstick tube, and then run along this harness, which used to go to the old 4L60E, and these wires that come out the side went to the VSS sensor, and then these wires obviously are coming from my new VSS sensor. So for these Dakota Digital wires, white is signal and black is ground, which simple enough. And then for these original wires, apparently yellow is high VSS signal and purple is low VSS signal, and to be honest, I don't even know what that means. But, you know, pretty much nothing to lose at this point, so I think I'm going to go yellow to white and purple to black. All right, let's see what happens here. We're still on the lift, but we can make the tires spin. That's okay. All right, going into gear. Oh, it moved up a little bit. Let's see what happens when I stop it. Huh. Well, it obviously needs to be calibrated, but I think it's working. Ha! Man, I had actually totally given up hope of that. Sweet. Alright guys, my phone says I'm going 50, my speedo says I'm going 5, so it seems to be off by exactly a factor of 10. Alright, so I opened up my stock bin file in Tuner Pro, and I typed in speedometer in the parameter search. And so there is speedometer scaler base, divisor, scan tool, and drive shaft pulse per revolution. I think that last one is probably the easiest place to make a big change here. So it looks like the stock value is 40 pulses per revolution, and the speedometer thinks the car is going 10 times slower than it's actually going. So I think if I change that to 4, it'll only be looking for 4 pulses per revolution, and that might move in the right direction. Let's give it a try. It's always a little unnerving between when it says erasing EEPROM and writing EEPROM, and it's not quite done yet. I always wonder, like, what if it doesn't work this time? All right. Well, that clearly didn't work. All right, let's try going the other way. How about 400? All right. Nothing. So I reflashed that computer probably 6 different times. I changed each parameter up and down, and nothing could get that needle to read over 5 miles per hour. So, you know, a real man knows when to give up and go with plan B. So you're looking at plan B. It's a $15 Amazon GPS speedometer, and it's working just fine. So my only complaint with this thing is it's pretty bright at night. You know, it's not bright enough to really be a problem, but it would be nice if I could turn it down a little bit. I'm sure it's perfect in the daytime, but it'd be nice if it had like a little setting you could switch, or, you know, a little photocell and kind of some adaptive brightness that it would, you know, switch itself or something. I don't see any kind of controls on it. I think you just power it up and it goes. So it's definitely better than nothing, and I'm glad to have it. Well, guys, there you have it. Not fancy, but functional. So, I mean, Amazon for the win. That thing was 15 bucks. And then the power supply, the 12 volt USB little dongle that I used was, I think, 9 bucks, also on Amazon. And I just powered it from the harness behind the radio there. And it's stuck on with some double-sided Gorilla tape. And I've got it kind of scooted over to the right there because obviously I don't need to see the speedometer that doesn't work. And this way I can still see the tach and everything else. So you don't need to look good when you work good, and it's working fine. Thanks for watching.